We've done a lot of bullshitting already. You want to do the show before the show, or you want to just get into this thing?
I don't care.
I don't care.
You got some. I got some show before the show.
All right, go ahead and let's hear. I got one too. Go ahead.
Have you talked to Joey about his best friend lately?
Yeah, he blows me up all the time. But I actually kind of didn't mean to blow Joey off this weekend, but didn't really talk to him a whole lot. Yeah. He was trying to talk to me, and I didn't get a chance to respond.
So he's a good bench presser, 400 plus, and there's this guy who just thinks he's the baddest motherfucker, and he said something about doing the tricep press down, the cable tricep press down, and was like, I hit this for a set of 15, and I know 455 bench pressers that can't do this. And I was like, bro, like,
what?
Yeah, and it's
but no. Why are we talking about tricep push down?
Exactly, but
I'm pretty sure I have a TikTok on right now that I'd rack that thing out and had to put weight on top of it.
Right. So, but he was just like, yeah. So I guess, and I guess his thing was, I'm better than a 4. I can press more than 4. He doesn't bench press. Because he hurt his shoulder.
There's a whole lot that goes into that too. Okay. He's one of those always hurt. Can't do what we do.
I think I know.
I have a plate in my ankle, so I can't squat, but I can Zercher squat, which is not really a squat. It's a good morning.
I don't even know what that is.
A Zercher squat.
Hold it and increase your elbows.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a front squat.
Yeah, kind of. It loads the front.
We've talked about this before.
But instead of like sitting down and squatting, he bends over and then shoots his hips up. And that's his Zercher squat.
So he good mornings it.
Badass good morning. It's a badass good morning.
But
he's probably got a good deadlift.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't deadlift either.
They got the machine deadlift at Decatur, and that's what he uses.
Oh yeah, and he's like, oh man,
but he'll do this Zercher squat thing.
Yeah.
But no,
that one's safe, but the rest of it's not. That's terrible.
He also
makes sense.
He also sent me a screenshot of his story, and he was like, I think he was bragging. He was someone teach me how to be big. He's like 270, 280. He just looked fat, dude. And I was like
he's arguably a little bit worse shape than I am, and that's saying
bro, like his arms, like they just look like a bunch of fat cells. They legit like they did
jiggle, or is it like
it's not like full.
Okay. Okay.
Not like if you look at my arm,
he's a little soft bodied.
I got you. Well, there's a difference between like being big, and like people get a little
like it's not like off season.
Yeah, I
big.
got you.
It's like it reflects his diet. Which is
poor.
It's frozen meals all day, frozen burritos, and brags about it. I'm glad you're here because a legit bodybuilder gets to hear these things, and we get the responses that validate our feelings.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
It's like, yeah, but that was my big.
He's got a real big heart on for all of our guys for some reason, doesn't he?
Yeah, I stopped following him because I just literally do not give a fuck. But when Joey sends me stuff, I always get pissed off or laugh. So I just let Joey be the medium.
Joey's built like a brick shit house right now too.
He is.
It looks same size and looks significally different.
Is he doing a strongman comp?
No, me and him.
To.
He got in trouble today for training strongman implements on his off days. I told him he needed to pick something or let me program it so that it's not.
Yeah,
I'm worried that he's not the greatest deadlifter for as strong as he is, and I'm worried that damn clean's gonna eat up his CNS.
Yeah,
for his deadlifts, and
it will. Yeah,
and the presses are fine. If he was be willing to just let me replace his overhead press with it,
right? Then it'd be fine.
It'd probably be okay. But it's not periodized or planned for, so it's not being accounted for in fatigue, and that's
and that's what
I just know the next time he misses a heavy deadlift, he's going to come whining to me and be like,
I told you so.
Maybe you shouldn't have been practicing on a log when you're not a strong man.
Yeah,
he probably does need to. But
as much as he seems to enjoy doing it, I genuinely think he should do it.
Yeah, he'd probably be an animal at it. To be
at least because I mean, there's an Alabama strongman event that's primarily for like newbies, right? I forget.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he would run shot over a newbie comp.
He probably would. Yep. Like just win it. Then he couldn't do another newbie comp, but I mean, still like Just for first time doing it.
I
like,
think we've talked about maybe letting him do one in the off season before.
Because he's not competing until November, right?
December.
I'm pretty sure I saw this dude's films of this guy doing on my Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's extremely strong, super gifted, little in his head about some stuff. He's probably built a little bit better for strongman than he is for powerlifting, to be honest with you. But he's got goals, so need to keep him on the straight and narrow as much as I possibly can. But
what was your thing that you had?
I popped a tire last night doing like 100 on a back road.
Shit.
I bought a new car. Y'all haven't seen that. And me and Sandy were getting on it pretty good coming down like Johnson's Crossing Way, like going toward Hansel to pick the baby up. And hit they had done some road work. They had split the road. Well, the asphalt's fine up until the split.
Okay.
They had split the road and covered it with gravel.
And
there was a little bit of a dip in it.
Yep.
And I hit that, and I didn't know, because it's a new car. The car had been sitting a while. The tires were dry rotted, so it just fucking split it.
Yep.
And so now I get to go to a tire shop.
At least she didn't put you in a
Tried
ditch.
to this morning, but Walmart doesn't
really
have performance tires, so
no, you have to buy them online.
And anyway, grandiose pain in my ass, but that's my show before the show. Pretty much hit a pothole doing 100 and
blew a tire.
And blew a tire because of it in my brand new car. And then at the gas station on the way here, before I picked Chris up, I didn't get on her ass about it because she had a pile of kids. She was trying to get into the gas station to go buy something. And that gas station right there by me and Chris's house, they sell food, like real food. Well, it's not food like we would eat, but they got pizzas and stuff. And I'm sure she was going in there to get that, but sitting there in my car, and she's getting a kid out of the back seat and just throws her damn car door into the side of my new car.
Damn.
And it did nick it a little bit, but I was able to rub it out with my thumb. It wasn't a big deal, but I rolled my window down and I was like, hey. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, that's it. So I got out and checked it, and it wasn't enough to make it. By no means was it enough to make an insurance claim or anything, but I was like, fuck. My luck. I already patched a tire on that car, too. I hit a nail 2 days after I bought it.
That's why you buy old. See, you got a new car. I got a new one. I got an 02 diesel, 2500. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody dings it, it's probably already been dinged. So,
so it's okay. But it was kind of a bummer. But yeah, that's my.
Dude, you're lucky that it didn't like shoot you sideways.
I'm admittedly a pretty good driver.
Sometimes it's not about what. I mean, you lose a front tire bad enough.
It took another half mile for the sensor to come, for it to alert me, for it to alert me about it. So when I say when we hit her, I mean it split it and it leaked. Okay. But when I tell you that it made our teeth chatter when we went over that bump, and I did have to work to keep it on the road a little bit,
right? Yeah,
but man,
I was thinking much more dramatic than that.
Too. I was like, oh, man,
but it was. We got the tire off, and I was trying to find a hole in it and couldn't. And then I got it back to have my stepdad bring me a jack, because anybody that's ever changed with a roadside kit knows you don't want to do that. And I was already in Hansville, and they live in Garden City, so I was like, fuck this, bring me a floor jack.
You want a scissor jacket?
Fuck that. Anyway, so I got the jack there, got the tire off, got it back to my mom's house, and we, the spare of all things was a little light, so we put a little air in the spare, and then, put some air back in the other one. And it took we got to 15 pounds before we heard it leaking, and it was cracked 6 inches down the sidewall.
That's a junker
hairline. So, but hopefully it didn't warp the wheel. That's the big thing.
If it didn't blow it out, you would think it kept enough air.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't riding on your
that road maybe a mile and a half before I pulled over.
On the rim, or you
no,
just
with a low pressure.
Okay. Then it's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ride on the rim. I ain't that dumb. But, but
I wouldn't do that on mine either.
Fun. You got pretty nice wheels on your truck.
24 by 14.
Yeah, you don't want to replace one of those.
No, I already looked at the tires and I was like, good tread on them. That's I'm not interested in replacing these things. Yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and buy good tires and stuff for it. Yeah. So
I mean, you don't want to be doing the same thing in a month.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some Nitto 555R drag radials, I think, put on the front of it. So
Just doing the fronts.
yeah, I mean, because it's front wheel drive, I'm only gonna put radials on the front.
Yeah.
I might replace the back tires with cheap tires.
Right.
Yep. But anyway, that's my show before the show.
You want to say any random shit before we get started?
No, I don't really have anything, man.
Word.
Well, it's the Sip It and Rip It podcast. You can follow us at Coleman_Barbell, at Nathan Skedios. What's your handle on Instagram?
Muscle Medic 316.
Muscle Medic 316 on Instagram.
I gotta ask, is it 316 because of Austin 316?
Man, I haven't gotten that yet. No, John 316.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it had to be one or the other.
Yeah, it can only be one.
yeah. But I mean, that I guess I've gotten the whole Stone Cold thing for sure. Yeah.
But and then at Sip It and Rip It for the podcast handle. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, wherever the hell you get podcasts.
Yeah.
You can listen to us. You can watch us, like us, subscribe to us on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on all of it, leave comments, send us DMs, tell us we're great, tell us we suck.
Reviews on Spotify are pretty important, apparently. So.
Yeah, reviews. If you could leave a review.
Yeah.
Still curious about the 4-star
4-star review. We'll never get an answer.
We'll never get an answer. They're chuckling to themselves about it.
Whoever it was, I hope they're an avid listener.
I've asked everybody,
this.
Chris, but if you rate something like 1 star or 5 stars, mean you gave it no thought, right? Like,
yeah,
it's either good or bad.
But it's either good or bad. Like no thought given whatsoever. You're just rating it to help a friend out, or you're rating it because you really fucking hated it. One or the other. If you get 2 to 4. That's a thought out answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
There was
something in there.
There was something in there that, so that's the reason my mind is,
it's just
super obsessed with.
And genuinely, like, if someone.
Know that now there's going to be like 17 people that are going to go on tonight and put anything but 1 and 5.
We've talked about it for weeks on end now. Because
I haven't seen anything. I actually haven't seen any new reviews in a while. So probably just haven't gotten any new listeners, but that's okay.
Buy your meat at the butcher. It's a great place to buy them.
Yep.
We went today. Sandy went today. I didn't. I don't know how often you go, but
it just depends on when we get beef.
And it's great. And we're low carb, so we get good meat back. We get fatty meat back. So thank God for a little while.
I'm still on chicken.
Yep.
Chicken twice a day.
That's it?
Well, I mean, I have a protein shake, protein bar at the end of the day. And then like in the mornings, I'll do eggs and like an egg and egg white mixture. Actually, I need to buy egg whites.
Wow. This diet thing's going to get interesting. We get
Is it Chris just chicken and rice all the time?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. There's some things that you could, I don't see how you can get by with just eating twice of real meat, real food.
Well, I mean, like 3 times technically, like the eggs, and then like I'll do deli ham, like eggs, deli ham, cheese.
Yep.
I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent.
No, it's fine.
We do a lot of
show, man.
This is a show for tangents.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Jam Logistics, they haul gas, so we can't, they don't really buy us anything, but they buy us liquor from time to time, and that's cool. Chad Patterson does a good job over there. If you own a gas station, I guess buy gas from him.
You probably do if you buy from
You probably do if you buy locally.
Yeah.
So,
not drinking anything real special today.
No, I have a Twisted Tea. They have energy drinks.
White Monster.
Yeah.
You got a Ghost?
Yep, Sweetest Fish. I live off these things. I probably have 5 a day.
I'm about to shut it down on the alcohol. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So.
I felt that
part of the diet thing, right? So
you can't.
I gotta ask because I never heard back. Did you try that whiskey that I bought you?
Yeah, I've tried all of it. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I've got into it. It's all sitting on top of the refrigerator right now. I've really tried to cut that back.
Yeah.
Been
I was just curious.
Partaking in the herb a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Than I had alcohol.
I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
So I let's say some people will say I'm not sober because I smoke weed, I guess. Well, I buy at the gas station, so I guess it's legal. So is that, I don't know how that works, but yeah, I don't drink. I haven't drank in 2.5 years, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I enjoy going out with people to drink because I know what it feels like to drink and I enjoy it.
Right.
And I enjoy people doing it, but it's like,
but
I can't.
Yeah.
Because I'll just keep going.
Yep. See, my dad's a recovering alcoholic too. He's been off for like 5 years now, 6 years. It's been a long time now, actually. Maybe. Am I?
Knowing that it's long,
man, it's so long that I have forgotten
awesome.
when he quit. I know it was it was close to or around the time when I moved out.
It might be closer to 10 years now then, huh?
It might be.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's crazy.
But he's been off for a while. Same thing though.
Yeah.
That's
There's no off switch, man.
yeah. Like he knows, and that's why he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he mentions it sometimes, and I've talked to him about it before. He's like, if I ever tried, it's like he says, sometimes I think I can, but I don't want to try because if I know if I'm wrong, then
It's a bad day.
then that's it. Like
Yeah,
it's
there's no
over.
coming back.
Yeah, and it's taken him this long to get sober that it's like, how do you put all that work and throw it in the trash?
Yeah.
Like then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
anyway,
Yep. It's good that they're off.
Yeah.
Yep. I would like to be permanently.
I mean,
But
for me, it's like
I don't do it enough now that it's detrimental.
Yeah.
I've been there, but
it's
Yeah.
like I can drink a drink and I'm good. Like I had a martini at dinner or lunch technically because I am on second shift schedule, but had one. It was fine. Like just kind of chilled out. It was an espresso martini. I know it's a girly drink.
It sounds
You can-
amazing.
it was not as good as the first time I had it.
Yeah.
I think they put more liquor and less coffee and chocolate, which was, it's like the liquor. Oh man, this would be great if it just had less liquor. If it wasn't a martini, if it was just coffee, that'd be great. Why did I pay $16
Right.
for this?
I'm about that bad about coffee now to the point that I just want it to be. I'm slowly becoming a black coffee drinker.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm ever going to be a hot coffee drinker because it
I love
pisses me off.
I can't do it either.
Pisses
I
me
love
off.
hot
cold
coffee.
Man, I can go to what you call it over Karma's over there and get like that big ass cold, like the biggest cup they have,
Mhm.
like, and get cold brew and sit there and drink it like it's water.
Hot
Yeah.
coffee pisses me off for some reason.
I
It gets
love
my blood boiling. It actually does something to my temper. Like,
I start
I don't like
sweating.
it.
I get
Yeah.
my temperature turns up. Yeah, I can't do it.
I love it, but I will drink cold coffee occasionally, but I don't actively seek it out. Like if
I'll drink room temperature coffee before I drink hot coffee.
oh boy, that's pretty rough.
I'll say warm coffee. Like if it's scalding hot, I don't want it. But if
Right.
it's like if it's between warm and hot, that's
Sandy could literally get like under the coffee thing and like drink it right out of the damn.
I can't do that.
She likes disgustingly hot coffee.
that's
I'm like,
disturbing to me.
I
it's
think from years
that
in
hurts.
service where you just got coffee like it was, I just whatever.
Got used
As
to
long
it.
as it had caffeine in it, I was like, okay,
Like, okay, we can
This is good.
I
roll
just
with
need
this.
something to keep my ass going. Like,
That's fair. I don't know. Yeah, it's slowly becoming a black coffee drinker, I think.
I had Scooters the other day and I was pretty happy.
I've been on Dunkin' now that
Dunkin'?
we're not sponsored by them. Yeah, it's significantly cheaper than everywhere else.
That's fair.
Dunkin' is
Yeah.
really.
I just haven't been a fan of their coffee. I've only had it a handful of times.
I can for that much cheaper.
That's fair.
So they have like the donuts and all in there, huh?
Yeah, we stay out of the donuts, but they have healthy
You know
breakfast
me,
options.
dude. I'll do donuts for pre-workout, but I
mean, it's-
literally like I put them into my diet. Like
the thing
I
about
have
it
honey
is
buns
though,
literally into.
it's the same thing with like Rice Krispie treats. It's all fast acting carbs.
Yep.
As long as you're planning on it. If you're not sitting there and eating like 12, you're fine.
Yep.
Like you just have to know where to put them.
Yep.
Like with my diet, on my weight loss diet, I've eaten like protein ice cream with Oreos in them.
Yep.
And I'm still losing weight and I'm still
It's all
staying
okay.
lean.
It's all-
Why? Because
Caloric deficit. You know, I'm like, I can't. Well, yeah.
It doesn't have to be miserable.
Oh no, I can just do this and I'll lose weight. If I walk this many miles, I'm like, are you still eating McDonald's?
Mhm.
You're still going to be fat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Change your diet, fat ass.
I think we've talked about diet 100 times on this podcast.
100 times. Yeah, that's
101 coming up.
101. Yep,
We can go
101.
anywhere with this thing.
What did you do in the gym this week, Nathan?
It was deload week, so not much. Sent some stuff over to Joe with I don't think we've been on the podcast since I've started pulling sumo.
I don't think so.
But I started working on some sumo pulls, sent it over to Joe, got some critiques. The week before this week, I've been doing it for about 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. This past week, not this week, but the one before, I sent him some stuff, said, hey, before we get started, can you give me some critiques on how to kind of like start working towards getting this better? He gave me a very solid and intellectual explanation, and I was like, I think I can make that happen. And then he said, "Oh, I just want you to sit like squat down." And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay." So I did that and cleaned it up incredibly, and it feels really good. I was only pulling like 225 because I'm not like trying to. I'm only doing technique work on my deadlifts right now. So that's all I did, but they feel like smooth, no pain, like because I was having a lot of glute pain in my left side, which was most likely my adductors not firing. So fix that, and man, they feel good. So bench press, I think I did like 275 for sets of 12 or something, like easy stuff, deload week stuff.
Yeah.
I intentionally planned to deload this week so I could deload this week, refeed this weekend, going into what Joe's got me doing because I wasn't sure what to expect. But I've already given him all this information. I got my program back, so I know what I'm going into now, which is going to be pretty fun. It's a lot more bodybuilding stuff than powerlifting stuff, mostly just keeping in the main lifts.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty fun. I've always liked doing the bodybuilding stuff, like as far as the work goes, but keeping in the main 3 lifts and then just like it'll be fun. But this week was pretty casual stuff.
Sure.
I don't even remember what I squatted. I think I was doing like 8 sets of 4 with 30 seconds rest or something like that. Like 200 something pounds, nothing fun.
Crazy.
Just quick work that I could do that would keep my back and my knees from hurting so much. And then when I figured out the glute thing that I was talking about, where I wasn't using my butt in the squat at all, then all that pain went away, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" Like, so I didn't have to do all this stupid shit to work around it. I just needed to move my ass. That's all.
Fair.
What about you?
I mean, I'm hurt again, so not much to do about legs. That's for sure. Presses went fine.
Yeah.
Nothing real cool.
Are you doing Larson's or are you doing like regular?
No, I'm doing feet down. I can manage that.
Okay.
Have a comp bench day and Anderson press on another day. Anderson press is eating up my shoulders. I don't know that I like them. I hope that they translate because they're
are
taking it out of me.
Are they hurting you, or does it just feel like they're working really hard?
They're hurting me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I cut them short this week to in the art of self-preservation because I don't need an upper body injury right now on top of everything else I have going on. But we also made good headway on figuring out exactly what's going on in my lower body. So it'll be better. But nothing too outstanding this week. So how about you, Chris?
I actually changed some stuff up this week and did quads by themselves with calves and did a posterior chain yesterday, lat and hamstring. But man, quad by themselves, staying in a pump, doing 10 sets of 10 was
That's gnarly.
Good stuff. I did 60 squats with, it was 5 plates, 10 sets of 10 on each side. Yeah.
Shit.
It was
that's
some blood flowing, man, for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's good shit. That's
you high bar or low bar squat?
No, I did it on leg press.
Oh, leg press. Okay, yeah. That's still gnarly.
Yep.
10 sets of 10 on anything.
It's crazy. Yeah, definitely crazy.
Just trying something different, man.
Yeah.
I got just.
Do you have an arm day now? Dedicated arm day?
So
now
I did.
Too?
I started doing a dedicated arm day. So I think I pulled toward or something in that left elbow in prep for Pittsburgh last year. And I did like some ultrasound therapy and some stem on it and stuff and worked through it, but it still bothers me. And because of that, I think that my biceps are just underdeveloped compared to everything else.
Right.
So I'm just throwing in a day just for them. But because like I can't pull a lot with it as far as heavy weight, so I started doing back to 10 sets of 10, just high volume on it. And I was like, man, I'm getting such a good pump on this. I'm going to try it with the quad because I got a great pump on that low foot placement on that leg press. And man, I did 10 sets. It's just, I don't know if it's the food and how I'm doing it right now, man, but I can't beat the pump on that. Just higher volume, lower rest, just
basically constant work.
Yeah, I mean, do
you do like closed chain on your foot placement?
Yep.
Yeah, that's when I was doing my prep with Joe. That was the main leg press. Was we would do narrow stance, low placement,
toes only.
And well, it wasn't toes only, but it was like heel on the very bottom is what we had. You're doing toes only.
Yeah, so it's like a real sissy squat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that.
Heels to your ass, basically.
That would be intense.
Yeah.
But we would do like 30 seconds work, and then superset the 30 after the 30 seconds. We'd throw another plate on there and do like 5 or 10 more reps.
Yeah.
And we'd do like 4 or 5 sets of that. And it was that was some
progressive overload.
That was pretty nuts. That was fun.
That's crazy.
PR songs? You got any?
Yes. I wrote some down on my phone.
You're always prepared for this, and I never am.
I have like
PR songs. What do you listen to in the gym?
What gets you amped up for the biggest set you got of the day?
You guys don't want mine.
Yeah, we do. That's why we asked.
Is that why you asked?
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be anything. I know what you listen to, Chris. I mean,
genuinely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
look,
so Skillet has a song that just came back out, and they're doing it's a overplay with Torn Wells, I think. I don't remember the song, but it's I listen to mainly, like literally all I listen to is Christian music, but Skillet has more of a alternative rock feel to them, and it's kind of a mixture of that and one of the new age more slow rock, I guess. So it's kind of neat, but yeah.
I mean, I know who Skillet is. Like I've heard them before. Yeah. So, you know, there's no judgment here, man. Like I
wasn't taking judgment. I know that most people would look at me and be like
you don't
going to the gym and you're probably listening to Pantera, and I'm like, nah, like just.
We definitely are, but
yeah, I mean, I listen to them a lot, to be honest with you. But
Pantera in the gym is actually kind of like super fun. Like,
I'm not against it. Like if they have it on, I'm not gonna go turn it off.
Right,
but
your go-to is
not mine. Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
You can throw out a handful.
So my thing is like where me, it's I don't want to go to that place where that music takes me.
I get you.
It's a dark place.
Have you ever listened to a band called Phineas? So they are also a Christian metal band. They're like very heavy, but all their music is incredibly Christian. All their lyrics are incredibly like. I don't know if it's specifically the music, then it might not be for you. But if it's like lyrically,
the content,
a lot of it is the lyrically content because I love beat and rap music, but I can't like.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I know that sounds stupid. Like, I don't want to listen to that because it's bad. No, I don't want to listen to it because then that's what I think about, and that's where my brain goes, and that's where my actions go. It's nothing against the music. It's nothing against any of it. I respect it. It's that I know that in my brain, if I surround myself with that kind of crap, then that's I just don't want to. That's where my brain goes.
Impending Doom era.
Yeah, Impending
Fit for a King. Christian music is the reason I listen to heavy stuff now.
Yeah.
That's how I got started. So kind of wild because like it's pretty far off from that now. But that's how I got started. But I mean,
speaking of, I'll go ahead and throw one out there, which is Death Magic by Enterprise Earth.
I don't think I've ever listened to Enterprise Earth.
Really? I'm kind of surprised. They're really good.
I'm not 100% sure I have. Maybe I have like 20,000 bands on my phone, so it might be one of those things where it's like buried. And
they were definitely buried. They showed up on my shuffle.
What do you use for?
I use Apple Music.
I use Spotify. Yep.
But
we have the Apple Music through like the family thing that came with it. I don't understand it. So I think I pay like $13 for Pandora or whatever. Okay. So I can just like have unlimited skips.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
I mean, Pandora's good, dude.
So just pick the music for me and I'll tell you if I like it or not.
That's fair. That works. Oh, you already put one on.
Yep.
It's going to get on everybody's nerves because everybody's about it right now, but Caramel by Sleep Token.
Yeah.
Fucking good.
I haven't listened to it all the way through, but also Sleep Token is one of those bands where, and I don't hate them and I don't dislike them. I
don't want to be associated with other people that like them. That's my problem. That's my problem.
This is like a new thing.
Yeah, I mean they're a really good band.
New. They've been around for several years.
Yeah, first EP's 17, I think. Yeah,
something like that.
Recently figured out. I understand them wanting to be anonymous, but the main guy was in a band with his wife called Blacklit Canopy, which is wildly different music.
That's like old school like 90s rock.
Yeah, it was like 90s, 2000s from
right.
Britain. Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's all.
I've heard of them.
Very. It's not really like emotive hardcore. It's not really emo. But it's very dashboard confessional
Yes.
is. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird, but
freshman year of college.
but I didn't realize that, you know, he had a whole. I feel bad for him because his identity was outed, and that's what the song Caramel's about. But
Okay.
they intended that to be a completely anonymous because he didn't like fame, so
Right.
that's the reason why they take anonymous approach now and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, they're a really, really cool band, right? Great music. I feel bad for them because of them wanting to remain anonymous and obviously can't. Then, you know, I also feel bad for them too, because they're definitely writing music for music's sake. And then you have a bunch of like Taylor Swift fans that are all about it. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's one of those bands. It's like Metallica era Black Album.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff on the Black Album I like, but for everybody else, that's the beginning of Metallica. And for me,
It's like
that's the
end.
death of Metallica. Like,
Seriously.
so like,
I mean, they had a.
you know, it's one of those things, but it's an album, you know, it's a band that transcends genre the same way Metallica did. Like you can go talk to country music fans and they like a Metallica. There's Metallica songs that they like. There's Sleep Token's kind of the same way.
Yep.
I mean, much different music, but like,
Right.
so it's like, I hate that I love them so much because
because of
a bunch of fucking dorks are listening to them. but it is what it is. I'm really trying to be better
So
about
is this,
not
is this like
gatekeeping.
Creed in the 2000s? Is that what you're saying?
Man,
Or like
they're,
Nickelback?
they're a lot better than both those bands.
You know, back in the day, it was like,
I
you listen
understand.
to Nickelback, you're a douche. And it's like, but why? Like,
But why?
it's
Yeah.
just the stereotype,
It's
right?
just why. Yep.
I was like,
I understand
like them, but-
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I don't really struggle with liking anything anymore, but
Yeah.
like, that's the catch for me. It's like, man, I don't want to have this in common with these types of people, but it's good shit. So I mean, I can't be
Good
be
music
mad.
is
Good
good
music, good music. Yep, like I said,
It's true.
and the better it is, the more it transcends genre. I
Yeah.
mean, even good country artists. I hate country music. Like, there's a handful of songs that transcend the genre. They're fucking good. Like,
Name one.
like it or not. Honestly, a bunch of the early '90s Garth Brooks stuff.
Yep.
Some George Strait stuff. There's Waylon Jennings stuff. There's Merle Haggard stuff.
You've named nothing after like 99.
Yeah, I mean, if you want new stuff, Arlo McKinley, really good country music artist. I like him a lot. I think he's a supreme douche and not a good person. But Zach Bryan has really good music. Chris Stapleton has really good music.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go around listening to country music, and I don't advertise that because, again, I don't want to have that in common with. Like, no, I have a reputation to uphold. I'm not going to admit that in public. You know, yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, there's stuff that like in every genre that transcends it, right? So
sure.
I mean, it is what it is. Even contemporary Christian music, there's a couple things that, you know.
Brandon Lake right now.
Brandon Lake's blowing up. Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that, I mean, good music's just good. It's just, you know, it really doesn't matter.
It's crazy is that, you know, you wouldn't think it, but his song, Brandon Lake's hit #1 on iTunes. And it's like, that doesn't usually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a Christian
Yeah.
song. Maybe something that is sung with them and somebody bigger, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, for him to have something that just, it's pretty neat.
My musician's brain, I always relate to something else. And the weird thing about contemporary Christian is if you've listened, it's one of the most seminal rocker records of all time. If you listen to U2's The Joshua Tree, it's a secular record, but modern praise and worship music is The Joshua Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To a T. Every bit of it. It's like completely repeated that album for the last 10 years. It's just been all the Hillsong stuff, all that stuff that everybody listens to. Like it's that record. Like it's all comes from that record. And I'm like, it's funny to me because I've played it. I've been on staff at a church and stuff like that, but it's like, they're always 30 years behind everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, but give credit where credit's due. Like I said, I wouldn't listen to heavy stuff now if it wouldn't be for all those Christian metalcore bands from the early 2000s and 2010s, stuff like that. So it is what it is. Getting to the meat and potatoes of this episode a little bit. We got Chris Stacks on. He's a local bodybuilder.
I feel
Hoping to
bad
get
we never really introduced him, did we?
No, we didn't, but we just did. So
Chris.
Chris Stacks, local bodybuilder, trying to get his IFBB pro card. Got some other stuff happening now. But we're going to interview him here and talk about him, let him talk about himself, ask him questions, stuff like that. But first and foremost, what got you started? Why bodybuilding?
Man, I think it's just, I've always loved the body. I was a medic in the Army for 12 years, and then I got a degree in kinesiology, and then started personal training a little bit, but just wasn't I didn't want to do that, but I
Mhm.
loved it. And I think it's the bodybuilding part of it. I mean, I loved pushing weight and chasing a number, but it's that number that kept getting bigger and bigger, and joints started hurting more and
Mhm.
more. But learning that you could diet down and make your body look like that just intrigued me. Like the fact that you can see striations in the muscles and you can literally see insertions, like that's insane.
Right.
Like, and I've always been one to say that I did something somebody else couldn't do, be a 1%er, right?
Mhm.
Whatever that might be. First it was the service, and you know, what's the next thing? Where can I want to do something that people say that looks hard or it's impossible or you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like drinking.
Right.
I said, once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. No, well, you know what? I'm going to show all of you guys. So.
Right.
And that's part of it, I guess.
Fair.
You get that. Who did you have any specific bodybuilder that was like an inspiration to get started?
So I'll tell you, what you guys, I mean, I moved out to Dallas in like 08, 09. Well, I deployed, came back in 2013. And a guy that I was at UTA with out in Arlington was a former Marine, scout sniper. And he worked out at Metroflex in Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know what the hell it was, I just kind of got into bodybuilding because the guy I deployed with was like, dude, you have a great physique. I've done it before. You should do it. Cool. Why not? Cool, man. That shit looks awesome, man. You look freaking badass in these pictures. Like, I can look like that.
Yeah.
So I go work out with him, and I meet Brian Dobson, and I see the pictures of Ronnie all over the place. And I'm like, this is like heaven. Like, what is this place? So I come back the next day, and Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson walk in the door and are going to work out. And I'm like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude's legs are bigger than my waist.
Yep.
Like, Branch is a monster.
Yeah.
This is in like 13 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it all started. I did the Branch Warren in 2013, just outside of Houston. I think I finished like 8th.
Out of
14 or 50. There's a bunch of us.
Hey, that's still good.
I don't remember. And then I did I did the Ronnie Coleman the following May. That was in July. I did the Ronnie in May the following year. And I finished around the same. Just didn't have leg size.
Mm.
And then I was going to start doing again, and then started drinking a lot.
Mm.
And wasted 10 years, and now I'm back at it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What brought you back to it?
Man, I think it was, I went to rehab. I came home, and I was like, I got to find something to get my time.
Yep.
I was like, I'll get back in the gym. And like, you get back in and you're like, I just need to get healthy again. Well, it went from like, I'm just going to get healthy in December. And then January, February, I was like, muscle memory is a pretty cool thing. Like,
Yeah.
my body looks different,
Yeah.
like a lot
Yeah.
different. So then I was, I was like, well, we should find out about pushing some stuff. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that August, I did my first show, the Alabama State, and won the overall, or the super heavies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, we got this.
Right.
So did another one to get ready for pro show in the following, April. So I was in a car wreck the 10th. I got on stage at 20th and still won.
Dang.
Damn.
How serious was the car wreck? Was it like
I was turning left on a 2-lane highway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this lane only comes this way, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this way. This lady comes at 55, never stopped. I had a 08 Tahoe on 33s. It totaled it. It knocked us 8 foot back. Yeah. So there was definitely some inflammation.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, still won. And then I hired a new coach to get ready for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And we came in at 208 classic. So we were 9 pounds light. But I finished 6 out of 7th for first show. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm ready to get back at it. So we're looking at possibly June in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
I started cut, and then had some health stuff. So I'm hoping that it won't cause me from not being able to do it. But we're just gonna see how how fast we heal. I mean,
Fair. What else you got for him?
Oh,
There's
man,
prompted
I was
questions
hoping you
here.
had a question because I was too interested in the
I mean, real
story.
simple. We talked about it in the show before the show. What's your current split look like? And then we'll get into diet and everything like that too.
oof. So workout split, I just changed it up. So like, I changed it up a lot, but I mean, so there for a while, I was having to force myself to take off days. So, I mean, it's always legs twice a week, a chest day, and a back day, an arm day. And so then I try to force, like today, I force an off day. I could have gone and done arms. I really wanted to, but it's just like I have to force myself to do it.
Yeah.
Most of my splits, man. So I still do big lifts. I just don't do anything barbell or anymore. So like I'll do incline I still do big on it. I'll do heavy leg press for legs. I won't do any pulse or back. I don't, there's no need for it because my hamstrings are good and the low back's there. It's just all lats. It's just.
So you do like machine rows or something like that?
I do. And I'll do bent over. I do a lot of dumbbell rows. I like doing a lot of dumbbell stuff. Single arm, I just feel like I get so much more out of it. For me, when bodybuilding, everything is mind muscle. I mean, I can put 20 pounds or 100 pounds. It really doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me as long as I'm focusing and I can feel the tension on the muscle.
Yep.
I can make it work what I need to. Like changing the tempo, time under tension. Those are things that matter to me more than anything. So not anything super crazy. Well, I told you guys 10 sets of 10.
Yeah.
That's my new thing. So I did sissy squats for 10 sets of 10. So toes only on it, narrow foot, 5 plates on each, 10 sets of 10. And that's a pump. I'll tell you, that's, I loved it. Like, I'll do it every week this week or this month, if not twice a week.
Hell yeah.
Just, I don't know. I chase that pump. It's just the most.
You obviously pretty disciplined about diet. So, run us through, what are you doing, calorically? If you know, I think you know, cause you wrote it out for me. What are you doing? What's your diet look like currently? And what's breakfast, lunch, dinner, what's snacks, all that good stuff?
So I run right now I run around 2,900 to 3,000 calories. I think it's split like 312 or 315 protein. And there's only like, I know it's under 100 grams of fat and the rest is all carbs. Most of my fats come from 3 honey buns in the morning for pre-workout. So I do three honey buns. I do 60 grams protein and then 50 grams of carb powder. So I do the shake in the morning. And then I'll do the honey buns on the way to the gym. Then after, I do 100 grams carbs, 60 grams protein, and a shake. Hour and a half after that, I'll do, right now I'm at 10 ounces of rice, 7 ounces protein. And then I'll do 7 twice more. And then right now I'm at 6. And then I'll cut those depending on how my diet, or not my diet, but my weight's going and where we're looking at as far as this.
What do you weigh right now?
I was 250 points and some change first thing this morning.
And you're trying to get to 2.
I got to get 217 to get on stage.
And that's it. Well, I guess you haven't picked a show yet, right?
So June 21st, I've gotten down as far as 244. And I let myself come back. Like I said, I'm going to see how this goes. But if we don't do Chattanooga on the 21st, then we'll probably there's one in Vegas I'll either do, or I'll go back up to Pittsburgh. It just kind of depends on.
What's the one in Vegas?
I don't remember, but it's in like November.
Okay, so it's
later on,
significantly further out.
Twisted Tea's got me having to piss. I'll be right back.
That's okay. So, this is just bullshit because Zach's running off. But my Joe Sullivan, do you know who he is by chance? So he's a power lifter. He's been in it for a long time. He's doing.
I forget. I don't know how you guys are about gear on here.
We don't care.
Okay.
If you want to talk about it, if you don't want to talk about it, don't matter.
Okay. When he was asking, like, so I do things in a specific way. Like, so in the morning, I get up and I have caffeine to start metabolism, and then I'll do growth and my shake an hour before I lift.
Okay.
So your growth hormone is at its lowest when your insulin is at its lowest.
Right.
So a lot of people say take it at night. I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I do it first thing in the morning when it's at its lowest. and then I spike my insulin with it.
Okay.
Which once so most of your HGH gets about 45 minutes to an hour towards in your bloodstream,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts messing with your insulin levels,
Right.
and your insulin sensitivity. So you put it in an hour to 30 minutes before with that shake, meaning 50 grams and 60. Well, it forces it where you want it with the growth and on all the things when you start lifting. So same thing with post. So some coaches believe, others don't. I don't know, but it's the same way. So if you split it in half, so let's say you're doing 5 a day, you do 2.5 of them before your lift, and then immediately upon when you're done, you should be, what the word would be, glycemically at your lowest point,
right?
Because you just lifted, right? So then you would take the other with your post workout shake.
Okay.
So it's how you're fluctuating, you're using growth to help with your insulin. Like the best time to take it, my opinion, is when your insulin level's at the lowest.
Fair.
So
do you take insulin too?
I have. I'm not on it now. So I liked it in the fact of what it does, but when you have to eat or you die, that gets old fast. Like, because you come home and I would take a shake and take insulin right after you work out. But then you have to eat an hour and a half after. Well, then you also have to eat about 2 hours after that.
Yep.
Well, you got to eat a lot.
Yep.
Especially when you're 250, 265, 70 pounds. So I'm eating 12 ounces of rice and 7 ounces. Right back, I got to do that again in 2 hours. And I was like, man, I really don't want to eat. Yeah, but if you don't, you might not wake up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for like the first month, man, it was great. Then I was like, I can't, I'm done. It's just whooping my ass. Like the anxiety of it was worse than anything. So,
were you taking a reasonable amount, or were you doing just a couple IUs?
A couple IUs. I mean, like it doesn't take, like everybody's like, you gotta, no, dude, you can take 2 or 3 IUs after a workout, and that's enough for a normal person that doesn't have any kind of insulin problem and insulin sensitivity problem. But you're talking about 10 times the absorption rate.
Right.
Like it just it opens the floodgates. And if you don't keep pouring it in,
then you got nothing in there.
And
it's all gone.
Shit goes bad fast.
Go back to leaning on Nathan's experience with it. I mean, it's almost necessary when you're eating 600 to 700 grams of carbs a day, though.
I mean,
and that's what's crazy is people get, and that's what's scary about it is people like it, and maybe not in the powerlifting world, because you guys are for pushing, because you have to have the calories to move the weight.
Yeah.
For us, we're so caloric minded that, well, that's a whole shitload of carbs. I can't eat that. That's going to blow my stomach out. I'm going to look like shit. No, it won't, buddy. I promise.
It's just going to push it where it needs to go.
It's going straight to the muscle and then straight out your piss. I promise. Don't eat. You have to. But yeah, man, it's
even like, I don't think
know yourself and know your, don't do it yourself. Have somebody that can watch you. Like that's all I can tell you. Like it is the most anabolic substance on the planet, but it's the most dangerous anabolic substance on the planet. So
that's fair.
Makes sense. Go ahead.
I was just thinking about when I was using it, and there was only a handful of times where it happened, but it caused me to start buying Gatorades for the car.
Yeah,
I got the shake so bad.
So I didn't go anywhere without a bag of gummy bears, a Pop-Tart, or something. Yeah, like we were headed out to my in-laws, and I was like, babe, I've got to eat. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I have to eat, like, right now. Like, or bad. We had to, like, whip in my daughter-in-law's house, and she went in and got, like, a bag of Crave cereal, and came out. I was like, this is all I can find. And I was like, I don't got it.
It's like it's carbs, man.
I don't think people realize, even like a GDA, if you're under eating, you can get some pretty nasty side effects from. Dude, like specifically like
scary.
metformin. I was having really, really bad dizzy spells, taking it during a weight loss phase while I was also prepping for a competition. And it was simply because I really wasn't eating enough carbs to justify it.
Doesn't it work similar?
It does, but it's not quite the same.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not as aggressive.
It's basically where it's going to sit, the carbs that you need are going to sit with you with insulin. a GDA does exactly what it says it is, you're basically going to piss them out.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
if you're not getting used. So if you're not eating them, like,
I mean, I know that a lot of people use it for diet.
and it fucks with your CNS. Like, it fucks with how you perceive weight. Like, if you're under fueled on carbs, after taking a GDA and you get under a barbell, 75% is going to feel like 110%.
Wow.
I mean, it's going to feel like fucking terrible. I don't think people realize quite how, I hear people talk about it and they don't realize how serious, like,
food, man, I'll tell you how
any of this is.
We went, I was at the gym 2 days ago, whatever, when we were doing posterior chain and we were doing quads, and it was like all of a sudden I got so hungry, like I almost got nauseous, and I was like, dude, I'm going over and eating another honey bun, or I'm gonna pass out. Like it can get. That's how close I try to keep it with my calories to keep my weight where I want it. Like I want as much as I can get in the mornings around my workouts, but I don't want to overdo it because I'm trying to keep my weight where it's at because I don't know where what show I'm going.
Right.
So it's like I'm like in this hold phase, but trying to keep full. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
I mean, the use of, not enough people do this, and I think when people think about weight loss, I think it's traditional for people to think of like slow burning carbs, sweet potato, oatmeal, brown rice, stuff like that. But really, actually, what you need is those fast burning carbs around your workout, and then you need to kind of, especially if you're in your weight loss phase, you kind of lose them through the rest of the day. That makes sense. I mean,
that's like I was saying.
Like that's the best way to manage weight and still get your carbs in too. But like, you know, General Pop, they're like, oh, we gotta, this will keep you fuller longer. No, that's fucking horse shit when you're taking when you're taking anabolics and then you know, GDAs or insulin or something on top of it. That's kind of bad advice at that point. You know what I mean?
I still, I'm that guy. Like even all the studies and the stuff that you learn in school or whatever, and then these guys are saying like, well, your body recepts protein or this carb differently than another carb. I don't care if it's molecular and you drink it or if you get it from whatever. Your body doesn't know that that molecule is any different than any other one. So if it's from a Pop-Tart or if it's from, well, I don't want to go too far because then we get into the whole high fructose corn syrup. But you know what I'm saying? Like there are certain carbs. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Like, oh, bread is a bad carb. No, it's not a bad carb. You've just been told that your whole life. And it's the bread you're eating. Like,
listen, we can't even get people to accept that carbs are good, let alone certain carbs are good or certain carbs. You know what I mean? Like that we need that. I mean, even myself, I admitted that we're starting a low carb diet this week. And the only reason I'm doing that is because that's the most successful thing for me to lose weight most of the time. I mean, it really is. I mean, that's just the way I work, and I can still overeat protein and fat without having to worry about putting on weight. You know what I mean? So it's just successful for me in that that regard. And me and Nathan's talked about at length on this podcast how much I hate a low carb diet, especially for performance. But I mean, it just is what it is. But like, I mean, I can still do that. Yeah, absolutely. I can still consume carbs
because I do 400, 400 to 500, 600 carbs a day, let's say, but 400 is in my first 3 meals. You know what I mean? Like then I'm the last 3 meals. I mean, sometimes at night I'm just like, well, it looks like it's just chicken.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're placing it well and you're placing it where it's supposed to be. But like people will argue up and down carbs are bad for you. I'm like, oh.
It depends.
Calories in, calories out, still king. I mean, it is what it is, and there's different ways to skin a cat, I guess. But we talk about it a lot.
People argue calories in, calories out. So like,
I mean, the carnivore zealots are like, man, I eat 9,000 calories a day of ribeye and eggs, and I'm 40 pounds lighter. Well, fuck you. You ain't
eat that.
You're not eating that. Yeah. First of all,
everybody says that shit.
First of all, I know where you fucking work. You can't afford fucking 9,000.
Everybody always comes up and they're like, man, how'd you get so big? I'm like, man, you got to eat. And they're like, man, I eat a lot. And then I tell them like what I eat. And they're like, oh, I don't eat shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
So everybody, I have that problem with kids starting like, but how much do you eat? Well, I eat all day. Like, well, first week, I just want you to track what you eat. And they come to me and they're like, a couple of like 400 or 500 meals, 400 or 500 calorie meals. And they have one big meal that's like fucking 15.
Yeah.
So they crack like 2,500 calories. I'm like, man, you're like,
that's not shit.
Like you're not even bulking. Like you're talking about not being big and like you're not even at your maintenance calories for like your size and your age or anything like that. Like you don't eat shit. Like, I mean, I know you got full at one meal, but
all right, you should have had 3 more of those.
like easily. Like,
hey, that big meal, you should have 2 more of those.
Easily. Yeah. And I think people's sense of diet is, including my own, because I struggle with diet worse than I struggle with anything. But people's sense of diet and what is actually factual is just so fucking skewed.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to get them to believe what's actually accurate. You know? Yeah.
It's really funny you mentioned that about kids being like, I eat all day.
Yeah.
I was at the Bridge Street the other day, and we walked into a van store, and I was wearing my PLU shirt because it was the regional shirt, and we were just walking around. Had the baby, she's looking at some shoes, and I'm just kind of chilling. One of the kids behind the counter is like, "Did you go compete in that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Pretty big," and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You got to show me what you do. Like, how do I get that big?" And I was like, "Well, you got to eat a lot." And he's like, "Oh, I eat all day." And I instantly just turned off. I was like, "Yeah, okay. I'm sure you do."
Yeah.
He was like, "Well," I was like, "Well, you got to get in the gym too." And he's like, "Well, I'm working on that." Like, bro, you don't give a fuck. Like, you're just making conversation. Like,
Man,
you just wanted to make yourself feel better for about 5 minutes.
especially eating like you guys do, especially because I can't say myself, but maybe when I'm better, like people don't understand how much food it actually is to hit just 3,000 in clean food.
And clean food.
It's more food than most people
I cook.
are comfortable with. They can eat 3,000 because they did, Chick-fil-A for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, and Taco Bell for dinner. But like when you talk about 3,000 and it's rice, vegetables, and a protein source, you're probably in food volume. You're probably talking about 2.5 times the food volume of what you're used to eating.
Now, because you do have to watch your fats, but if you supplement with like avocado and nuts and stuff, that's where you can really make up some of your calories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot, to get the protein, like people don't understand, like that's pounds of meat a day.
Yeah.
Like when I go to the store, I get 10 packs. So that's 10 pounds, and that will last maybe 4 days.
Right.
Like I don't even
tremendous
know.
amount of meat. I've started because of the cheapness of it. We lean on fat-free dairy.
Yeah.
Like heavily cottage cheese, fat-free milk. I mean, stuff that's easy to drink.
Chicken,
but like
everything.
also, I don't remember the last time I've had to supplement protein.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm consistently, even when I'm eating bad, over 200 grams.
Yeah.
Like because like we're just protein minded in my house.
Yeah.
Like I do like the fat-free dairy just because if your stomach can handle it, it's a lot cheaper for one, and two, typically food volume's a little bit easier to deal with, especially leftover chicken. You do it all the time. It's a fucking drag for some of us, like especially chicken breast. Like
it depends how you do it, man.
I literally I make 3 pounds of ground chicken at a time.
Oh, you lost me now.
I make 3 cups of rice at a time, and it comes out to whatever it makes, and that usually lasts me about a day and a meal or so. And
see, the ground chicken
it's so
disgusting.
You just
ground chicken
throw
is
some garlic salt on it.
Nah.
And then throw it in the fridge, and then when you need it, you just put that in some rice and just some sugar-free barbecue sauce, and
it's about things for anybody listening to this though. It's about things that are easily repeatable.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I mean, like what can you eat all day? And you're probably still going to get sick of it, but what can you eat all day and at least it's palatable all day?
Right.
And then for days and days on end.
So for me, it was like I love chicken. That's great. But I couldn't eat grilled chicken every day. That's a lot of chewing. Like you're like afterwards, you're like, man,
the benefit of the ground is you just scoop it in and swallow.
Yeah, it just goes down and it's over. Like I'm on to the next thing.
Well,
but I don't live to eat. I eat to live. There's a difference. Like food is not my thing. Like people have, we all have our loves or things that and mine, thankfully, because of what I do and what my passion is, it's just not been food.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. On a night, I'll go down to Walmart and I'll get the biggest bag of peanut M&Ms, and that's mine. I'm not sharing that shit. But like that's just like I can go a week and eat chicken and rice and it not bother me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll make the kids food and I'll get pizza for them or whatever. It's just I have something wrong in me maybe, but the self-discipline doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have anybody looking over my shoulder saying, don't eat that. Like, cause my wife doesn't give a shit. My kids don't care. Like, it's just me watching me.
Yeah.
Like I could go in there every night and get Star Crunches or whatever that's in there, but it's like, I know what I've done and what I've gone through to get here.
Don't want to go back.
No, man. Like,
Well, just because you were on that grilled chicken thing, I have to tell you about my chicken. So I'm not doing grilled chicken right now. It's all coming out of the crock pot.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm doing. So it's a pack. It's usually like 3 pounds of grilled chicken or not grilled, sorry.
Chicken breast.
Chicken breast. Chop it up, throw it in the crock pot. It's chicken broth, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, Italian seasoning, and sit it in there for about a couple hours.
You didn't have to cut it up. Just throw it in there full.
Well, the reason why I cut it up because I don't want it to be that
Stringy.
I don't want it to be stringy.
I got you.
Because after that's done, I do my Alfredo sauce, which is light cream cheese, Parmesan, fat-free cottage
So
cheese.
y'all lost me at all this.
Fairlife milk, mix it all up.
You spend all this time and do this?
Yeah. I mean, it takes like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like,
you know how long it takes me to cook?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it's like
20 minutes
nothing.
and let's go.
But I also get to eat chicken Alfredo.
So this is different. This is different since you want to enjoy your food.
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit.
I mean, I get that.
Like
but,
if I had it my way, like I would be like, if I could have somebody that just like had my meals in there
mm-hmm.
and I just like ate them, I would eat the exact same thing every day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about it. Like it's just there.
I mean, that's what I do.
What day, whatever time, like chicken, rice, and that's it. It would be fine.
He gets pretty ill when you take a lot of fat away from him.
No, actually, I've been really good lately.
I remember that the first time we were trying to cut some fat out, and you're like, it was the cheese. You didn't want the egg or the cheese. And I was like, man, you got to give that up.
I don't know the last time I had cheese, man. I don't see how you could be on a diet and eat cheese.
Oh man, I have cheese on my breakfast sandwiches every day.
I mean, they all kind of low fat, fat-free cheeses and stuff like that. You can make it happen if you want to.
I do full cheddar.
So you just plan for it.
Your meal in your diet, like you had cheese and you were shredded.
Oh, I'm not shredded.
Okay.
I've never been shredded.
Right. There's just a difference between being lean and being like.
Basically, what we're doing most of the time is we're trying to earn a calorie surplus for prep.
Yeah.
So we're trying to come in. The rule of thumb I like to use is about a 10% cut and about a 10.5 to 11% bulk. So
where does your body fat get down to?
It depends on the lifter.
For body fat? Or are you looking for what's your marker to say I'm losing to cut down?
Well, the hope is every time we go, if Nathan's a 242, the hope is every time we arrive back at 242 pounds, he's a little leaner and a little bit more muscular than he was the time before. So basically, what we're trying to do is put as much muscle in his frame inside of a weight class as possible, and we're hoping, with the exception of the water cut the week of the meet, we're hoping that we've earned a caloric surplus through the majority of prep. So that's the reason we cut. Well, you almost do things the opposite of us.
Exactly,
that's the reason we cut. We cut in the off season where you're going to bulk in the off season.
Yeah.
And we want to earn that caloric surplus back. That way we have the calories when we need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is when we need to be the strongest.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
And also, I mean, we talk about all the time. Gone is the day of a fat powerlifter winning. The better your physique is inside your weight class, at the top of your weight class, the stronger you are.
Right.
Simply put, you're a lot leaner than I am. If me and you are both 275 pounds, you can just about tell by the way people look who the best 275 pound lifter is. The one that's obviously more athletic.
Right.
We both weigh 275, but you're 12% and I'm 25.
So
you're probably fucking stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It goes without saying.
Yeah.
But that's what we're trying to take advantage of. We do want as lean a physique as possible, but we also have a weight class to max out.
Yeah.
And we want to earn that caloric surplus back. So it kind of happens opposite.
But you guys, it's a different lean. So I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like really, there's not a whole lot of reason for. I mean, there's some guys that are incredible. There's not a whole lot of reason for a powerlifter to be under 10% body fat.
Yeah. See, like I walk around 10.
Yeah.
If not less, probably less. I mean, like I don't have to hold in to have that. Like I don't.
Right.
You know this probably from your anabolic protocol though. Like hormones drop off pretty bad sub 10%. Like you start having hormonal issues to an extent. That's the reason why people get, prep fatigue and bodybuilding and stuff like that. Because y'all get super lean, like sub 5. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. No, I think Dr. Mike talks about like sub 5 being really noticeable.
Yeah.
But like for athletes, we don't of any kind. Doesn't matter to the type of athlete. You don't really have to be.
You don't want to be under 10.
Sub 10
is about where you want. Yeah.
So
I think 10 to 12 is supposed to be optimal, right? 10 to 12% body fat.
No, I know. I feel like Joe's talked about off season. Well, not losing an off season, but 10 to 12 is probably optimal. But that cut, is the only time you're really going to dip, and then you should never be heavier than about 15%.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like, that means half of my crew right now probably, Nathan included. No offense to him, because he probably looks better than most of us do. We're probably walking around over 15, and that's probably not good for us, to be honest with you. Like, do you know yours?
I was, I think, 18% when I was at 247. I'm at 230-ish right now. I didn't weigh myself.
So you're probably
before
under
that.
15 now.
I'm probably under
15
15 now, but right now, right now we're just going through a maintenance phase and trying to
Unless
get
you're
acclimated to 230.
Unless you're a super heavyweight, there's really not ever any reason to be over 20 for sure.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
definitely say with confidence over 20 is fucking useless for us. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm 250 dry in the mornings at right at 8 to 10% probably.
Yeah.
and you'll cut down to you'll be some,
3,
It's crazy.
yeah, because we'll go the night before weigh-ins will be the worst because I have to get to 217.
Mhm.
So I'll be as dry as I possibly can be, and we'll eat for shit,
Yep.
and then we'll weigh in, and then I'll add a little bit of water and add some carbs,
Yep.
just a little bit of protein, and then we'll do that about every 3 hours, and just keep adding, but just a little bit of water, so you don't want to get watery. But right now, then you're just trying to put carbs back in, trying to get weight back up. So just don't want to do too much. Your stomach spills,
Mm-hmm.
or you look distended, or you start losing lines.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's like literally from the time you get back from weigh-ins, every 3 hours you're looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's through the night, you know?
Yeah.
All right, what do you look like at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
All right, you
Damn.
need to eat again.
Yeah.
No
That's
eating,
intense.
no water. Yeah, but if you do it right, I can weigh in at 217, get on stage at like 225,
Right.
and size won't be a problem.
Yeah.
So
It makes sense. There's a lot of intricacies we don't necessarily have to worry about.
Yeah. a lot of stuff that we don't really, me personally, I don't know
but
about.
you guys have weight classes in the fact that you still have, you want to max a weight class, meaning
Yep.
you'd like to come in at the top of that for a different,
Yeah.
more muscle, more size, more strength. Same with us, as we want to come in as close as we can to that.
You want to be as close to that 217 without going over it, basically,
Right.
as you can be.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you want to be right on the edge of it so that when you have that ability to fill back up.
Yep. If you can be 216.999, we're in
Yeah.
good shape.
And it's like, I want to be the first dude on the scale.
Yeah.
Like the first
Right.
motherfucker on the scale, because as soon as I get on the scale, I'm going to start feeding. I'm going to start fueling.
Right.
And that means I've got 12 hours to get myself full.
Yeah.
So just because you got a lot of experience in bodybuilding, I was trying to tell you, but we kind of got off on a tangent. So Joe is my coach, and he's doing his first bodybuilding competition.
Okay.
So this is his current physique.
He's a big old boy.
He's 212 right now. He's 7 days out.
How tall is he?
He's
He's
not very
probably
tall.
5'8",
He's got to be a little
5'9".
big guy.
I think he's shorter than that.
And what does he weigh here?
He might say it. He says what he weighs. But I know last time I remember he said he was 212.
Okay, so he's probably doing. Is he a pro or is he?
No, this is his
first
very
show?
first.
Yeah, first show. So
Yeah.
he's probably doing amateur like 212. So that's heavy. The
Yeah.
supers is like 220 or something like that and over.
Okay.
I think 2 something. I don't know. That's like heavyweight.
Right.
He looks good though.
I thought he looked pretty impressive, especially coming from a powerlifting background where
Right, but he's gonna have like to be a bodybuilder. He's gonna put a bunch more weight on.
Yeah.
But classic.
I think he's doing classic. I don't think he's doing open.
Yeah, he'd have to. Nowadays, these open guys,
They're
bodybuilders-
mass monsters.
Mass monsters,
That's all it is, and that's one of the reasons why.
Someone's over 300 pounds on stage.
Yeah, that's insane.
He's shorter than I am.
To be that
He's an
lean
inch shorter
too,
than me.
like, I mean,
I can't imagine.
it's insane.
Like,
I feel like I'm a big guy, 250 right now. That dude's 50 pounds plus, and he's an inch shorter.
Yeah.
That's a monster.
that is a big man. for
this
sure.
is where he started from.
Yeah, to me, he leaned out, and he put some chest on, it looks
Yeah.
like. But yeah, he looks good.
But that was like
He's
I'm
gonna
going to
have
start
to
doing
be- I have to
bodybuilding.
see what his back looks like, but I'll tell you, most guys that start bodybuilding, they'll tell you is legs will be a lot that people will have issues with.
Mm-hmm.
If not legs, then it's back depth. So meaning a lot of guys can get a pretty good lat spread. I mean, like wide wise, they can kind of do all right. But it's when you start looking at how thick their back is.
Right.
So the biggest thing on amateur to pro bodybuilders, when you look at a back shot, it looks 3-dimensional. Like it doesn't look flat. Like you can see muscle protruding off of the back. Like if you look at my back compared to some of the guys in the gym, it's you could tell a significant difference.
Sure.
I guess that's his lat spread. Well, it was on there for a second.
Yeah, that's just his
He's just doing all his posing.
Yeah.
But
hey, it looks good.
There you go.
Yeah. See, I mean, there's just not a lot of depth in the middle.
And like the middle to upper.
So your rhomboid, your trap in that area.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like I said, we all do our lat pull downs and we do our regular rows. There's a whole different scenario when you start pulling, like breaker, like you're pulling away, like you're pulling against. That's when you start building the inner back.
That rhomboid is something powerlifters lack a lot of the time.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you. I mean, because we don't do a lot of direct work for rhomboids a whole lot. I mean,
that makes sense.
We're always worried about a bigger back, a bigger leg, all the things that we talk about, bigger triceps, bigger shoulders. Like, but that mid portion of your back is something, you know.
Not many people ever really hit it.
Yeah.
And there's not really a whole lot of reason to, because it's not like something you're like, you want to see my rhomboid? You know, it's like, fuck, you want traps, you want fucking boulder shoulders and big ass biceps. Somebody gives a shit. But you get
I guess
on stage,
bodybuilding judges
they're
do.
like, yeah, because that's the thing that nobody has.
Right.
It's okay. Do you have a leg sweep? Right? Does your leg look different than everybody else's? Like, you got to get a teardrop or you got a big leg sweep, one or the other. On the backside, they want to see if you've got striations in your glutes and if you got thickness in your back. That's what makes you a pro.
Yeah.
These amateur shows, you can go down and it's conditioning. Like if you can come in lean, more than likely you'll take the show. You get into the next level, then you got to be conditioned to the next level, and you've got to be full all over. But it's fun. I don't know. It's
What about the? I mean, I don't know if you care. To be honest with you, I can't imagine actually knowing you and you actually caring too much about this. What about the politics of bodybuilding, man? I mean, that's something that people swear goes into it.
I don't know a lot about it. I'll tell you that I had a coach that, I mean, I don't know if I should put his name out there. He knew the shit that he was doing, but there's a lot of politics in it, like meaning that it turned into him creating a business out of it as opposed to growing individuals. And I know he's all about, I grow individuals and I've done this. Get it, whatever, man. I don't understand some of it. You know, if you don't do this many shows, you're not going to win. You know, if you haven't put yourself in front of the judges, they don't know who you are, despite if you look better or whatever. All I know is that I went up there the last time and I was underweight and still didn't finish last. And those guys had significant weight on me. So, I mean, I probably didn't deserve to be in top 5.
Yeah.
But I understand if there is or there isn't or whatever, but just like in anything else, stop giving them a fucking reason.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you walk up there and if you look better and you get beat, then fuck, I don't know. Like, it is what it is. But it's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do.
Sure.
I know that, like, let's put it this way. I go to Pittsburgh in August and I get my pro card. Probably going to happen. And I turn around and I go and I get on stage at the Arnold with Solik next year. We could look the same. I might even look better. He'll probably get the win. I'm okay with that because it's what's good for the sport. Does it fucking suck for me? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's like you guys, if you've got somebody that is just blowing up around powerlifting and it's bringing other people into the sport, that person's gonna get some fucking push.
You're gonna get some calls, yeah.
Right? And I'm not hating on it. I get it, and I'm not saying the kid looks bad, but we're the same height. We'll be in the same thing. We'll be on the same stage. I'm telling him that he better be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because I'll get my card and we're gonna stand next to each other, and it's gonna be. I want to see it because everybody keeps talking about this shit, and they keep talking about all these guys, and I'm like, what makes him different than I am? Chris Bumstead walks around at 250, 258, whatever. Same fucking size as me.
Yep.
He's got 28 to 30 inch legs. guess what? So do I. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's they're made these gods by these guys in bodybuilding so that people gravitate to
Bodybuilding.
yeah.
Yep.
And that's they put on this pedestal. I mean, Ronnie did it. Jay and Phil did it.
Yep.
Before that, it was Lee Haney. I mean, it's like they attach to this figure, right? And they go with it. This past couple years with Lunsford and then Samson, like, and it being different guys, it's been good for the sport, I think. And I think that what's a little young kid, I don't remember his name, it's a monster, but he got hurt, didn't do the Olympia last year. He's going to be a run for him. I mean, there's a lot of guys.
Are you talking about Nick Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got a lot to bring for those guys. There's a lot of good bodybuilders right now, but a lot of politics.
Some of that.
Note, Nick Walker is just a massive human being.
Yeah.
God damn.
And
I didn't know people could be that big, genuinely.
That's what I'm saying. Like
So
the first
wide,
time I walked into
everywhere,
just
wide.
The last time the first time I walked into Metroflex and saw Branch Warren working out, I was like, I couldn't fathom the fact that dude's legs were that big, and like to have 600 pounds on it, and they're just like it was like 225, 315 for you and I, like just. But that's where I learned what drop sets were, and I learned what real failure was. Like those guys were in there screaming, yelling, spitting, cussing, and swearing, and I'm talking like you were force repping. Like you went from 300 pounds down to whatever 50, and then I'm gonna hold the bar for you, and you're gonna keep going because I'm gonna help you get it up, and then you're gonna hold it all the way down, and then you keep doing that until I get it off you. And then like it was like there was no quit. Like you worked until you couldn't move it anymore, and like that's what made those guys big. So that's what I do. Yeah, it's two failure drop sets all the time.
Well, that's something me and Nathan have talked about pretty often is how little the normal gym population actually is comfortable with true failure. Like you need to but to even, and this is true even in powerlifting on their accessory work and stuff, like science says proximal to failure, what is it, like 2 or 3 reps, Nathan? Proximal to failure.
Yeah,
it's as good 1 to 2 for muscle building as failure is. But how do you know where
true failure is?
You don't know 2 or 3 reps from failure until you've experienced true absolute failure. And so few people, even in myself, like grinding a set out, get to 12 reps on lateral raises, I got 3 more to do, and I just like, I'm going to stop. It's like, don't think I can even do it anymore. And you can bust out 3 more somehow, whatever it may be. But like, it's really not failure until you physically can't pick that dumbbell up from your side anymore. That's failure. That's muscle failure. You know what I mean?
Start with 40s, and I'm not quitting until 5s. I can't pick them up. Like, that's failure.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
But then people don't want to come back to the gym with you because they can't straighten their arms out. You know, like they're like, my elbows, or like my biceps won't move.
I'm not necessarily condoning that's where we start, and I think y'all wouldn't either. But people will complain all the time. We've already touched on the food part of this. People complain all the time about I'm not getting stronger, I'm not getting bigger. This isn't happening. And like, you kind of casually do the same weight all the time. You're in the same rep range all the time. You never really actually experience. Do
you sweat
muscle failure
at the gym?
Yeah.
First of all, let's find out. Like, are you sweating?
Yeah, like you should be. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
if you're not, that means you probably haven't done much.
Yeah. I mean, you got to step it up. And you know, I think most people, especially here in America, we're all fat as fuck. You get in there and something is better than nothing, and that works so well for so long.
Yeah.
With especially gym pop getting in there and stuff like that. And then they get to the point they look bigger, they look better, they're a little stronger and stuff like that. And then they get to this point, they're like, I'm not where I want to be anymore. And they're like, well,
it's not working anymore.
It's simply not working anymore. Me and Nathan talk about this all the time. But the people that are great at strength sports, bodybuilding, any sport whatsoever, anything that requires effort, the people that are the best at it are the people that are willing to do things that everybody else isn't.
Yeah.
Whether it's, for me, I don't mind doing the work. The work's fine. For me, it's the diet. For a long time, I've been unwilling to do the diet. That's the truth. That holds me back. Some people it's the work. Sometimes it's the work and the diet. But like, there's always going to be somebody willing to do a little bit more than you did, like willing to get it all right. And one of the reasons why Nathan has gotten as good as he has, as quickly as he has really been a short amount of time in the scope of powerlifting, is Nathan has been willing to diet. Nathan's been willing to do a correct and responsible drug protocol, and he's been willing to put in the work. He's been willing to do monitor sleep, all these things that other people like. They want to go. They want to go get
those things don't matter.
They want to go get an arm pump and they want to go party afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, Nathan's been willing to set that stuff aside to get better. And like, obviously, you have like everybody that's around me that's the best
more
at
than
it.
once a week, and if you're drinking heavily more than once a week, you're not going to get where you want to be.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say.
No, I mean that's
you can stay where you're at, get a little better, but you're not going to get where you want to be.
Yeah.
You're not.
I mean, people self-sabotage don't even know they're self-sabotaging.
Yeah. I mean, and it's what are you willing to sacrifice? Life is all about sacrifice, whether it's for yourself, your kid, your job, whatever.
And
what are you willing to sacrifice?
Anything willing worth having is requires.
That's one of the reasons I love the sport, bodybuilding, powerlifting. You cannot buy a good body.
Nope.
You cannot buy strength. You cannot buy abs. You can't go down and have somebody do it for you, show you how to do it, work to do the work. It is one thing that you have to earn.
Yep.
You have to.
That's what's been therapeutic about me in the gym in general is it's the only thing in life that whatever you put into it is exactly what you get back.
Yep.
Like there's not a thing other than there's not a thing else in life where it's a 1-for-1 return.
No.
But if you're willing to do X amount in the gym, you will see. It might take some time.
Yeah.
But you will get the returns that you want to get, and that's, people lack perspective on it. I think quite a bit. I mean. Even those of us like myself that have been in it for a long time do. I mean, it is.
Now it's the world of instant gratification. It's the world of Ozempic and crash dieting and intermittent fasting and not understanding what that even fucking means. Like, oh, but I intermittent fast. Like, do you know what that means? Yeah, I just don't eat. When do you eat? When I get hungry. The fuck does that mean? Like, it's not intermittent fasting. That's just not eating. When you get really, really fucking hungry, you eat way too much.
I have to ask, was that like a genuine conversation you had with somebody?
A genuine conversation.
That's awesome.
I don't eat, and then I just wait till I'm super hungry, and then I'll eat at the end of the day. I'm like, that's not intermittent fasting.
It's a joke I make all the time, but I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb for 13 hours of the day for a reason, because people will ask you stupid questions all night. I get questions, and it's no fault of theirs. I'm not mad at them, but I get questions like, what's a carb?
Dude.
Like, I know I need more protein.
So
what is a protein? Like, what do I need to be? And I know it seems really simple to us, but like, that's how little
people know.
Most people, actually think about this. And that's also the reason why they're so gullible about like,
I can't.
Oh, carbs are bad for you. You can't eat that. And you have a whole nother section of people that meat's bad for you. You can't eat that.
Yeah.
Fat's bad for you. You can't eat that. Like,
plants are trying to kill you.
Plants are trying to kill you. Like whatever,
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
everybody's got something.
Yeah.
But it's because they know so little that they take, when they see somebody successful at something, they just take it and they're just like, this is fucking it. This is the thing. This is what's going to work.
What works is consistency.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, the best thing in the gym, diet, and life is routine and consistency.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Roman's been in there with me for 4 weeks. Look at this. That's 4 weeks.
That's great.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
I can
That's
tell
a huge
from here.
fucking difference. Roman's got a pretty good shape about him, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. He was a heavy guy. He was 300 pounds. And he lost a bunch of weight, crash dieted for like a year, and then started working out at home and had some dumbbells and stuff. And then I pulled him in, got his diet.
Right.
Right. Like, you're eating, but let's eat like this.
Yeah.
And we got his gear regiment right. We dude, just, he's hungry for it now.
Yeah.
And I hate training people. I don't train people because nobody wants to do it right. This is one of the only people that I've ever had. And this wasn't somebody that, like, I was like, hey, I'll train you or whatever. It was just kind of like a mutual friend. He came and worked out with me, and I was like, he just kept coming. And he just kept buying in. And I was like, dude, you just keep doing this stuff. All right, come on.
Yep.
And now he's one of my best friends, and dude is just hungry for it, man. And I'm just like, those are the people that if everybody we train was like that, man, we'd be.
There is a moment, I think it's pretty fun. Obviously, I have to deal with gym pop and people that are in there basically for their health. I think they're,
right.
You know, not super goal oriented. They're there, you know, one track mind, you know, that kind of thing. There is something special about being a coach and seeing the light turn on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of happens with everybody. Like the first time they do a pull up, or the first time they bench press 2 plates, or
the first time they
like,
see. First time they do before and after like that, and they see a change, especially in females.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, my weight's not changing. Fuck you. And you're like, okay, go check your picture from 2 weeks ago and look at this one. They're like, oh my God, it's awesome. I'm like, yeah, stop looking at the scale. Like
measurements. That's the reason I take measurements. Like, well, your weight hadn't gone down in 4 weeks.
Let's do measurements.
Shit happens. Let's measure. And they've lost fucking 8 inches, you know what I mean,
like
across their body. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm like,
that's pretty crazy. I do like 10 or 15 measurements, so it's not uncommon for me to get like, 8-10 inches total, you know what I mean? But like an inch and a half off their waist or something like that.
Like, I know she's lost inches.
I actually just got word from her doctor, and I know exactly how much she's lost, and she's done incredible.
That's
and that kind of people getting normal folks getting that type of news is what keeps them in it and flips that switch. Big time. So about time to getting about that time. Yep. Cool. You got anything you want to add, Chris? Any advice to give people? I always like to say, what would you say to a newbie?
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I started this journey 20 years ago. And it takes time, but consistency, man, self-discipline. Those are the hard things to do. But the easiest way to do it is to find something that you can repeat, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was find something to get addicted to that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Find a healthy addiction. And to me, it's probably not healthy at some points because of the food and shit. And like, I won't eat certain things, and we'll go out to dinner and we'll go to places, and I'm like, I can't eat that.
Right.
Well, you can, dude. You're in off season. Yeah, but I still
don't want
can't eat it. And it's a mental thing, you know, like you saying, like, it's almost the opposite for you. Like, I can't turn that off. I wish sometimes I could turn it on so that I could be like, hey, it's a cheat day and I can go enjoy whatever I want. I'll go out for a cheat meal and I'm like, well, I got to get chopped chicken with light barbecue sauce. No, asshole. You're supposed to go have cheese dip and cake and shit. I can't do it, man. I can't.
I just had my cheat day.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat a bag of M&Ms. I'll give you that. That will happen sometimes. But
if that's the worst thing you're doing, you're doing, pretty good.
Yeah. But I'll tell you that, for the young guys or anybody starting out, listen, man, it doesn't matter where you are or what you start at, man. I'll tell you this. I don't tell a lot. Man, I was 4 years ago, I had nothing. I was living behind a Dollar General. And today I'm sitting here working on a pro card. You can do whatever you want. You can. I don't give a shit what anybody tells you. Put your faith in God and step out on faith. I promise you can do what you want. But you have to believe in yourself. And you have to do it every day. Mm-hmm. You have to do it every day.
Good advice.
I listen to a guy who does wrestling podcasts, and he does 2 things. First thing that he does when he wakes up, he says out loud 3 things that he's grateful for.
Yep.
Before to go to bed, he does the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool thing because it makes you focus on what you have and not what you don't.
So one of the things that I did through my PTSD stuff and all this crap was I had to write 3 things I liked about myself every day, and 3 things I was grateful for. And you had to pick 3 things that were different each day. Yeah. Man, you got to dig deep to find some shit that you like about yourself. So you start to respect yourself more every day when you start to pick out those things. It helps. Like, there's a lot of us that we wake up every morning, we're like, even however we look, however we feel, you look in the mirror, like, I look like a bag of dicks today. And you're like, that's just where I feel. Yeah. Well, you start to train your brain to think of positive things in the mornings. It starts to help. I'm not saying it's a fix-all, be-all. But, man, if you stick to it for 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start feeling a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right. Good advice.
Yeah.
For sure. You got a dad joke?
Just one?
Just one? I ain't got none.
I was asking. You just want one? Like, I usually run through
it's
them.
It's up to you, man.
What do you call a gay dinosaur?
Megasaurus.
Hey.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've heard that one.
Or the lesbian one?
the lesbian one.
A lick a lot of puss.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole episode dedicated to that one. I was dressed up like a dinosaur in here at one point.
That's awesome.
I have a giant dinosaur onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jackson's got one of those blow up ones that like inflates or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those before. So I told my son if he wants to get a girlfriend, he should go to Target. There's already a bunch of women there looking for things they don't need. A lot of women say their husbands never listen to them. I'm proud to say I've never heard my wife say anything like that.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that one. Oh, man.
The anticipation's killing us.
I don't tell dad jokes that often, but when I do, he usually laughs. Have to think about that one. Man, this is just a bunch of junk food.
Junk food.
I've been saving a lot of junk food, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm like, I gotta make this when I'm not dieting, and I literally haven't made any of it. It's like food porn. Like, I just watch it, and I'm like, yeah, that's good stuff. I never.
See, this is the difference between people that like enjoy food and those like I don't. Like when shit goes across the thing, I'm like, fat fuck. Like, like a Jimmy John's commercial come on, I'm like, yeah, look at Danny DeVito. That's what you're gonna look like? A short fat fuck. Like I know it's terrible.
You cannot disrespect Jimmy John's in this house. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying that like when shit like that comes on TV, my first thought isn't like I want to get up and go get it. I'm like, man, that looks like it would make me gain, or it would tear my gut up.
Right.
So that's another thing that I did not talk about, but gut health is such a huge fucking thing. Like people are like, I'll just eat whatever. I'm like, then the next day I'll eat chicken and rice, but then I'll have 8 protein bars. I'm like, dude, you just fucked everything up. Like that just destroyed your whole gut health, and you're not going to process anything for the next 24 hours.
Right.
Like, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
Is that it?
That's all.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's it? All right, guys, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, watch us on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave comments, send us DMs, rate us 5 stars, buy your meat at the butcher. We appreciate them greatly. It really is a good place.
It is.
I think about that often. Smoked turkey for meal prep this week, I think, from there. Yeah, not mad about that.
Some of Pops gets from there. Turkey.
It's great.
Turkey, yeah.
It's a great way to make your meal prep not taste like shit. Buy your meat at the butcher.
Yeah.
Jam Logistics for buying us alcohol. And then you can follow us at Coleman_Barbell, at Nathan Skedios, at Sip and Rip It, and at Muscle Medic 316
Muscle Medic 316
for Chris. Thanks for listening, and that's the show. Bye, y'all.
See you guys.